All right, let's talk about the thing that can make or break your entire golf experience. The thing that separates pleasant golf partners from people you never want to play with again. And the number one source of frustration on golf courses everywhere is pace of play. If you take nothing else away from this entire course, understand this. Pace of play is everything. You can hit every shot into the woods, you can take 8 putts on every green, you can lose a dozen golf balls, and most people will be fine with that. But if you play slowly, if you hold up the group behind you, if you turn a 4-hour round into a 6-hour death march, you will not be invited back. There's even a saying, if you can't play well, play fast. Here's the thing that most beginners don't understand. Golf courses are designed to accommodate rounds of about 4 hours, maybe 4.5 on a busy day. But that's not just a suggestion, that's the entire business model. Golf courses book tee times every 8 to 10 minutes because they expect groups to maintain a certain pace. When groups fall behind, it creates a traffic jam that affects everyone on the course. And here's what's really frustrating. Slow play isn't just about how well you hit the ball. I've played with scratch golfers who were painfully slow, and I've played with beginners who kept up just fine. Pace of play is about efficiency, preparation, and understanding what you're supposed to be doing. So let's talk about how to keep pace, starting with this concept of ready golf that we touched on earlier. Traditional golf etiquette says the player farthest from the hole hits first. That's the rule. In informal competitions, that's how it works. But in casual golf, business golf, and most recreational rounds, ready golf is not just acceptable, it's preferred. Ready golf means you hit when you're ready, as long as it's safe to do so. If you're 150 yards from the green and your playing partner is 160 yards out, but still looking for his ball, you should go ahead and hit. If you're ready to putt and the person who's technically away is still reading their putt from 17 different angles, go ahead and putt. The key to ready golf is communication and common sense. Don't just step up and hit without saying anything. A quick, mind if I go, or I'm ready if you are, keeps everyone on the same page. And always make sure it's safe. Ready golf is about efficiency, not recklessness. Here's how ready golf works in practice. On the tee, who's ever ready can hit, as long as the fairway is clear. In the fairway, if you're ready and it's safe, go ahead. On the green, you can putt out of order if it makes sense and doesn't interfere with anyone else's line. But ready golf isn't just about hitting out a turn, it's about being prepared when it is your turn. And this is where most slow players really kill the pace. They waste time when they should be getting ready. Here's what you should be doing when other people are hitting their shots. You should be walking or riding to your ball. You should be thinking about what club you're going to need. You should be checking the wind, looking at the pin position, and getting a feel for your shot. You should be taking your glove out of your pocket, cleaning your ball if it needs it, and mentally preparing for your shot. What you should not be doing is chatting about last night's game or checking your phone or waiting until it's your turn to start thinking about your shot. The moment you start your pre-shot routine should not be the moment you start figuring out what you're trying to do. Let me give you a specific example. You're 120 yards from the green. While your playing partner is hitting their shot, you should be walking towards your ball, pulling out your rangefinder or checking your yardage markers, thinking about wind and pin position, and deciding what club you need. By the time it's your turn, you should be able to walk up to your ball, take one practice swing, and hit. That's how you keep pace. Here's another key component of pace of play: efficient cart usage. If you're riding in a cart, how you use that cart can make or break your pace. The basic rule is this: when you reach the first ball, drop off that player with a couple of clubs, then drive to the second ball. Don't just sit there watching the first player hit and then drive over. Don't make the first player walk back to the cart after hitting. Pick them up on the way to the next shot. Here's a pro tip that will save you tons of time. When you're getting out of the cart to hit a shot, take an extra club or two. If you think you need a 7-iron, take a 6-iron and an 8-iron as well. That way, if your first choice doesn't feel right when you get to the ball, you don't have to walk all the way back to the cart. The same principle applies when you're walking to the green. Don't just take your putter. Take a wedge too in case you need to chip from the fringe. Now let's talk about ball searching, because this is where a lot of rounds completely fall apart. You hit a shot into the woods or the tall grass and suddenly everybody's spending 10 minutes looking for a golf ball that costs $3. Here's the official rule. You have 3 minutes to search for a lost ball. 3 minutes, not 10 minutes, not until we find it, 3 minutes. And honestly, in casual golf, even 3 minutes is probably too long if you're holding up the group behind you. Here's how to handle lost balls efficiently. First, everyone should watch where balls go. If you see someone else's ball head towards trouble, mark a landmark so you know where to look. Second, if there's any doubt about whether you'll find the ball, hit a provisional ball immediately. And third, don't spend forever looking for balls in casual rounds. I've seen groups spend 15 minutes looking for a ball. Even if they found it, it would be unplayable anyway. Meanwhile, there are 3 groups backed up behind them getting more frustrated by the minute. Just drop a ball, take a penalty stroke, and move on. Here's something else that kills pace: taking too many practice swings. 1 practice swing is fine, maybe 2 if you really need to feel the shot. But I've seen people take 5 or 6 practice swings, step up to the ball, back away, take 2 more practice swings, then finally hit. That's not preparation, that's procrastination. The same goes for reading putts. Yes, you want to read the break and the speed, but you don't need to crouch behind the ball, walk to the other side, crouch again, and then ask your playing partner what they think. Pick a line, trust it, and hit the putt. Here's a pace of play secret that most beginners don't know. You can start walking towards the next tee while the last person in your group is putting out. You don't all have to be standing around the green until everyone's finished. Obviously, don't be disruptive, but if someone's lining up a 3-foot putt, you can start heading to the next tee. Now let's talk about one of the most important aspects of pace of play: recognizing when you need to let faster groups play through. If the group behind you is consistently waiting for you to hit, if you've lost touch with the group in front of you, if you can see that you're holding people up, you need to invite the group behind you to play through. This isn't admitting defeat, it's being courteous. The best place to let a group play through is usually on a par 3, where you can step aside and wave them up. Or sometimes there's a good spot on a longer hole where you can safely get out of the way. Here's how to do it properly. When you reach a good spot, wave the group behind you up to the tee. Step well aside and let them play through completely. Don't hover around making them feel rushed. Thank them for their patience and don't take it personally. Fast players aren't necessarily better players, they're just more efficient. And here's something that's really important. Don't speed up dramatically right after you let a group play through. I've seen groups let people play through, then suddenly start playing at warp speed, which defeats the whole purpose. Just play at a steady, efficient pace throughout the round. One more thing about pace of play: it's not just about your group, it's about the entire flow of the golf course. When you maintain good pace, you keep the whole course running smoothly. When you fall behind, you create problems for everyone behind you. Here's the bottom line on pace of play: be efficient, be prepared, and be aware of your impact on others. You don't have to be a fast player, but you do have to be a considerate one. Keep up with the group in front of you, be ready when it's your turn, and don't waste time on things that don't matter. Master pace of play, and you'll be welcome in any group on any course, regardless of how well you actually play golf. Because at the end of the day, most golfers would rather play with someone who's efficient and considerate than someone who's good but slow.